Hi, this is Colman Domingo, and this is The Late Show's Dream Role Goals. The dream role that I would like to play someday, because I'm very young, I'm way too young to play this role, but possibly next year. Troy Maxson in August Wilson's Fences. I just think it's just an awesome role, and I've seen actors of size like Mr. Denzel Washington and James Earl Jones. I've watched them, slay it. I didn't watch James Earl Jones do it. I was, in high school, but I've seen it many, many times on YouTube. The story of Fences is about Troy Maxson and his family in Pittsburgh. He wanted to be in the big leagues as a baseball player, but didn't feel that he got his chance and his opportunity. So he works as a garbage man. You find out he's been having an affair with a young woman, and then what that causes, the tension in his family, the way he treats his son, how he's one of those men that back in the day that he knew how to love his kid by literally just providing for him. He didn't know how to be tender. So it really does examine toxic masculinity in that way. And I think Troy Maxson is such a complicated character. He really is sort of an everyman, blue-collar guy who's actually doing some real terrible things as well. But you start to understand why he's doing it because of his position in society, believing that things were not given to him when they should have been. And so he's fighting for his humanity in many ways, and to be heard and to be seen in the world. I think the ultimate Troy Maxson has been the originator, which is James Earl Jones. That voice, that size. He reminded me of my stepfather. One of those men who always have their bellies out and big and blue collar, who's willing to get down into the ground, and who walks in the house and takes up all the psychic energy in the house. And he always got the first piece of chicken because, he worked. I work hard and I sit down, and you sit at the table with your family, and he gets the first piece of chicken. By the time it got to me, I was, always at the other end, I would get like a wing. The scene that I think is such a pivotal scene is when Troy Maxson tells his son Corey he's trying to teach him how to be a man in the world, and being liked is not part of it. Being respected is more profound. And in the Broadway version of it, 1987, that's played by Courtney B. Vance, a young and bright Courtney B. Vance. And he says, Dad, how come you don't like me? And James Earl Jones looks at him and says, like you? What I need to do is like you. I feed you, don't I? You got clothes in your body, you got a roof over your head. Don't worry about being liked. I would tear that scene up in a few years because I am very young. There's some incredible monologues, but that's the thing that August Wilson gives us, is incredible, detailed, complex inner workings of the human psyche. One in particular is not even a monologue that Troy has. I think it's just one of the dopest monologues written for women, and that's the monologue that is delivered by Rose. You've seen Viola Davis do it in the film, and also, by the way, Denzel Washington murdered the role as well. Let's just remember that. But Viola Davis murders that monologue because it's all heart and soul, and it just shows what she did as a woman at that time to stand by her husband. And she says, didn't I had dreams too, but I poured my dreams into you. And that shows of the true partnership that she said I was willing to have, and understanding that he wasn't a perfect man. But she said, but I'm with you. And I think it's one of the most beautiful monologues that August Wilson has given. Oh man, that's a great question. I think who I would cast as Rose to be my wife is a woman who I've done a few films with, and I admire her greatly, and that's Ingenue Ellis, because she's got fire and passion and beauty, and also she knows the stage. She can spin circles around the stage, and I would love to dance with her. I think August Wilson's works at its best deal with, Black trauma, Black hope, deals with America, and who are we and who are we going to become. This is Colman Domingo, and this has been The Late Show's Dream Role Goals. You're welcome.